name is Catherine Linnes, for those of you that don't know who he is, and these are my students in the Master of Science in Information Systems program here at HPU. And they're all focusing on software engineering. And this has been a great semester. We have had the opportunity to work for the state, and these folks have all been interns here for them, and we have worked on a couple of applications for them. So we're really, really thankful to Sunny, Karen, those two we have worked very close with, same as Randy, that you guys have given us that opportunity. And also, you know, Layla has also followed us up. Also, a special thanks to Pono. I mean, he's been like a true inspiration for us, really. First time we saw Pono, we're like, who's this guy that came in the room, right? It's like, who is with all these stories? But after we got to know Pono, I mean, it was just fantastic. I mean, you really moved us. And with your stories, it was just a wonderful experience and getting to know you. And I think we all felt that, you know, the really great guy in the stories you have to tell us. So thank you for opening up and taking the time to share those stories with us. It meant a lot to us. So it was a true pleasure to work with everybody here at the state. We also have a couple of folks here in the room too. We have people from tech systems. We have people from HMSA. We have from Superb Internet. We also have from the state and also our own HPU. And you have a sheet next to you, and that kind of shows who are here actually today. Something he hasn't on right as of yet. We have Karen Higa here in the back. Yep, she's the webmaster at the state office. We have Leila Kagawa. She's the deputy director at HR. We had Barbara, also the director at the state office. We have Raquel, veterinary medicine. We have Puna Shim from Enterprise Honolulu. We have Sharon Blanton, from the CIO from HPU. We have Deborah Crown, our dean of college business HPU. We have Anzi. It's always so difficult to pronounce Anzi. UIE Evolutions. He's also one of our alumni and true friend that always comes out to look out after us. We have Michael Dutton. He just had to leave. He's the CIO of HMSA. We have Jason Wong, Vice President of HR at Superb Internet. I think we have Ruby. Ruby yet? No. And we have Jesse Whitmore, Senior Account Manager of Tech Systems. We have Jenna Brammer, yep, from also Tech System, and Paige from Tech System, and Lisa from Tech System as well. And we also have a couple other people that came today too. We had Rob Slake from HPU, also IT, and you guys started helping me out.
Scott Enright, Deputy Director of Hawaii Department of Agriculture.
Ken Kakusaka, Department of Agriculture.
Keone Collin, the Deputy CIO for Operations for Oversight.
Oh, Jocelyn Clark, Communications Director for OINC.
We got everybody. Yeah. So it's a true pleasure to have everybody here. And how we started this program out, we started out with the Open Data Project, where we were given 2 weeks to actually deliver something for them. And that's when Sunny and Randy came forward and asked, you know, hey, can you guys help us out? We're trying to do something with our data, and we're given about 2 weeks to get everything together and present at the Hawaiian Telecom Conference. After that, we moved over to some budget data. Randy asked us, hey, can you guys help us out with the budget data? We had 3 days to look through their 729-page report from legislators to try to visualize it a little bit better for them. And then we finished up with the Hawaiian Department of Agriculture application. We used about 7 weeks for it. So it's been a busy semester. What I'm going to do is hand it over to Sami and take it from there.
First of all, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it. As you know, it was raining earlier today, and I was really running, because I thought that I will have my hair messed up by the rain, and I figured I don't have any rain. Well, thanks for all hard work, and it's been a tough, actually, semester for me. It's my last semester, and I'm going to graduate, but we managed to do our best to work on the projects. The open data project, that was our first project. Take your business to your next level by Hawaiian Telecom. That brought us some inspiration, to work on something to bring it to the next level. Because as you all know, we are students and getting a real project for real life businesses out there. That was a challenge for us to build up the team from different background, different culture, different languages they speak, to be in one team and do what we done. I really appreciate all the team member and the hard work they did. Of course, with all Dr. Lennis, where is she? Yeah, without Dr. Lennis, none of that will be here. She brought a new concept to engage the student to be involved in some problems out there that the student can change that. And that was our mission, to change what we can change for better life. To help others, to provide information for everybody out there that deserve to read, to find an information they're looking for. It's like the philosophy of an open data as a technique require certain data to be freely available to all. So that was the things like made us work on our project and do our best without us knowing the hard work we've been engaged to and working hard and everybody doing his best. It's like we're paid to do this, but it wasn't about the money. It's just like about serving the island that we are in right now. It's not only the school. That's something that we could give to the island because we gain all the education. And this is all the team members as you see here, the names. And of course, President Barack Obama is famous about the open data. This is the open data. This is the state website before we start working on it. By looking at it, we start trying to find the information that we really want to find to put in our project, which was very hard to research and look for information to put it, to make it available, to brainstorm and think about the important data that citizens out there that they, without any knowledge or anything, just by looking for this data set, they will understand where the money come from and where the government spend it, and to give them better perspective about the government jobs. And what we did, we team up, we searched the whole states, the United States. We did the research, intense research about the website, the technology they use, to find the best that we could offer Hawaiian state to be from. I'm not going to say Hawaii came in the bottom. That was actually excitement news. Florida was the lowest in the technology, and Hawaii apparently came a little higher than that. But our mission was to bring Hawaii state from that level to the top, and with a short period of time, that was the challenge, to put all the teams focus on this project to do the best of our knowledge. And these are the states actually we like the most. I'm not going to go in details. As you see, it's easy. This is one of our favorite, Maryland. It's easy to navigate, easy to find information for anybody. You don't have to be well educated to look in that site. Just like matter of clicks and then get the information. And this is another one, Minnesota. As you see, it's this like easy interface. Anybody, even a classic icons they put there. So if you don't have to read, it's just like click and find the information you look for. Another one here, and that's another one also with more details. And this is the Hawaiian current, I guess still current, still there the same way. This is the way it is. As you see, it's not an easy access. It's not an easy way to find any information. It's like for you to look, you have to probably wear your glasses. Dig in more into it to find the information that you look for. So for us, we have to go through links and more links and more links to get to some information, not all the information that we look for. And then we'll take over.
Okay, next I'm going to talk about the design that we come up with. Why we showed this color and why we showed this theme. When we think about Hawaii, people think about Hawaii just having sea and ocean, but try to go to a different approach that we're thinking about land, about trees, urban. So the design we come up with is like an urban plus land, and that's where the color comes from, or the earth tone with brown, yellow, and green. And the layout, mostly we model through the website that we actually like, that we saw earlier. So we put the most interesting or feature of the data that we want to show on the first page on the tile up here. And on the side here, there will be additional data if you go through them when we have a lot more data than the demo that we have here. So we can access the data from either from here or from here. And the reason we make the graph here is just to summarize the data that we chose, so you don't have to go through double click or three click or something. And if you go through each page, we're going to have a graph that expands on the front one with more details, and we're going to have other people talk about that.
So I'm not going to go into much detail about the data sets, but all the data sets were taken from the Socrata website. So that was the data, that Hawaii.gov website. We just extracted what we thought was the most interesting, and then we visualized it in a way that we thought would be useful to your Hawaii users. So for the fuel prices, what we did is we showed the different prices and the different changes in prices over the years between the different grades of gas in Hawaii. And what this can do to analyze what your trends are for gas prices in one simple click. And then I was the one who picked the data set for this and did like an overview of the data underneath your graph. Michael was the one who actually chose the actual graph to go with it and did all the programming and the widgeting for it. And then we also did that for the public transportation. And with the public transportation, it was the exact same concept where we just transit information for the bus system here on Hawaii, and we showed things like the amount of passengers and the amount of revenue over the years for public transit, and also how the number of buses have changed over the year. And once again, it's just to give a really nice, concise view of that enormous amount of data that's supplied on Socrata, so that you're not so much overwhelmed anymore. It makes it more user-friendly. And then we'll have other people talk about the other ones just to give an overview of what else we did.
Opportunity, job. Which job? Very quick too. We choose job because we believe it's one of the most important things for the people who live in Hawaii, or for the future resident who would like to know what's the situation like before they move here. We start to compare between Hawaii and the mainland, and what surprised us actually is the job in Hawaii is growing and better than the mainland. As you can see, the job growth in Hawaii from 2003 to 2010, and that's lead to decrease the people who get the job in Hawaii and decrease the people unemployed near Hawaii. So Orishi is going to explain the tools we use to build those graphs.
I am sorry. I did the coding for this page, and we used jQuery library called Wismo for this graphs. This is both of them are the same data, I just wanted to show it in a different ways.
Who's next?
It's EV. It's electric vehicles.
Which one?
Electric vehicle.
Horticulture.
Sustainability. Sustainability. Is the EV one. Electric vehicle.
Vehicle.
Yeah.
Why so slow?
Okay. We did some looking at the electric vehicle usage in Hawaii. As you know, some people are going for the green movement. Instead of using fossil fuels, they to use renewable energy. And so one of the big uses of gas in Hawaii is probably cars. As we all know, everybody has at least one car, maybe two. So we're thinking like, I want to buy an EV, but can I charge it on the island? So over here, you can tell that on the bottom graph, the big island doesn't have that many chargers. Kauai has a little bit less. Maui about the same, but Oahu has the most. And we also found out that yes, you can drive around the island in an EV.
Good information.
Yeah. And you can tell in this graph that it's on from 1999, very little to almost 10,000 by 2010. This is a combination of EV and full electric and hybrid electric. So the hybrid electric also has a gas engine, just in case the electricity can't do enough power to let it go on the road. And turn to Nathaniel.
Yeah, you actually explained that really well. Basically, what it gives an overview of what the trends are for the electric vehicles and helps consumers know whether it's a good idea to buy one. They can see the chargers and ports on the graph down below. They can see, oh, if I live on Maui, I might have to be more careful about where I live to make sure that I can get back and forth to work every day. So.
Just go to the. Michael? Thanks,
Take care. And then, since we have so much experience with the open data and extracting data and creating visualizations, when we were presented with the task of taking the budget data that was in the 720 some odd page document presented by the legislator, and was asked to take that data and turn it into a way that they can compare what they asked for and then what they actually got budgeted for. It was an easier task for us. All we did was looked at the document, took the data out that was of most importance, and then we created visualizations through GRASS, which can give you an easy side-by-side comparison of the amount of money that you asked for compared to what you were actually allotted. So the first page of this application that we created does it by department and compares all departments side by side. And then we also split it up by department at the bottom. You can click on the tab and then go to a specific view of each department. Right here, you're just seeing like for employment appropriations, what they actually got and then what they asked for. It shows the percentage drop in the amount. Actually, this one's showing though the financial data. So this would be the actual financial budget that they got, and that's their percentage drop compared to what they asked for. And then if you go to the bottom, you see all these tabs for all the other departments in an organization, and then it does it for each different department as well. Yeah. So like this one's for the Department of Agriculture. It shows what they asked for and then what they were actually budgeted for, and it allows them to have a side-by-side comparison of how everything turned out for them with the results of the legislator. So we hope that it was very useful. We only did it in 3 days. If we had a little more time, we can probably go a little bit deeper, maybe look back into some of the past data and see how those trends are and see how the budgets today compare to the budgets in the past. And now we'll go on to the agricultural project, which was our last project.
Hi, My name is Jeff. I have the pleasure of introducing this project that we did for the Department of Agriculture. Next slide, please. Again, the class, all of us contributed to this project. At this time, though, I'd like to highlight some people who took the lead of the project. Ben over here, he did the layout for the web design. Richard over here handled PHP, and Michael did Ajax and JavaScript. Now, those are the main leads, but everybody did contribute to this a lot. Next slide, please. So how this project got decided upon, YMT gave us a whole list of things to do that we could possibly, some projects that we can do. We felt that this project was the one that we could, give back most. I mean, it was pretty much cut and dry, but it would have the most effect for the department. So that's how we chose this. Next slide, please. Basically, what this is this project was to automate a certificate to transport cattle. Right now, the Department of Agriculture, you have to document the transportation of all cattle. So, not only on this island, but all over the place. And currently, it's a paper process. So, we're looking at maybe 750 different parties who do it. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have a small office and you have to process 3,000, 5,000 forms a year, it's a lot of work. So, hopefully, that's why we thought this would be a good project to help out the Department of Agriculture. Next slide, please. So this is an example, one of the forms that we automated under DC 44, and then the next one, the DC 8. Okay. Jess is going to come up next, and he's going to discuss some of the technologies that we use to create this web form.
Hello everyone, my name is Jess Navarrete, and I'm going to go over some of the technologies we use. So everyone knows HTML, that's pretty much your basic language for writing web pages. CSS is cascading style sheets, that's pretty much to make things on the web fancy. And JavaScript is like your brain of the your web page. And we use also jQuery, jQuery UI, and jQuery plugins. What jQuery is, it pretty much it's a compact version of JavaScript, so it adds brain to your to the web. Plus, it adds animation, and it's easier to use. So a lot of companies use it now. They like CNN to use jQuery. Everyone doesn't need an introduction for Google Mapping, Google Geocode. Everyone probably went on Google Maps before. Google Geocode is a separate app that returns coordinates, longitude and latitude. So we use that. PHP is a back-end server, so that we, if the easiest place to find PHP code is Facebook. When you do all your posts and whatnot, it refreshes dynamically. That's where PHP is used. It's pretty much the industry standard. Next slide. And for the database, we use MySQL. It goes well with PHP. It's industry standard too. It's where we store all the data for this project. And to run PHP MySQL, pretty much the driving force is Apache server. So that's how you're able to connect to this web page through Apache server. And the browsers we use is Chrome, Firefox, and Internet Explorer 9.
Yeah, so that technology enabled us to basically make some of the, what I would call normal features of a website. And we implemented a way for registering new users, so you can kind of track the users as they submit applications or forms. And that, of course, required us to have a login and logout session management in place, and of course, password management in case someone forgets their password. We also had email automation, which emails out the receipt of the forms and telling that it was completed. And we also implemented a file upload function, so if you have a brand and it's not in the system, then it could be uploaded to the server, and so that the veterinarian can see how the brand look like. There's also a brand library, more or less, which we also implemented. So you can type in the code for your brand, and it will display that instead. So it's already there. You don't have to upload anything. And it's expandable. In addition, we got a request for a map where the animals are located. So we decided to use Google Maps because that's the easiest way to do it. So we implemented that, so there will be a map showing the location. And it also gives us the longitude and latitude coordinates to that location. We also implemented an internal search engine so you can search through the different forms because at some point, hopefully, it will be filled up with a lot of forms and will make it easier to kind of find a specific form. And of course, we also had other features that helps sort through the forms. And also, there, with the backend tools that's implemented, we used, you can also export the data in the database, which means that it could then be uploaded to Socrata, for instance, and used in open data projects by others. So yeah, so do a quick walkthrough through the actual application.
Hi, I'm Richard. I'm going to go over the registering new users and the search functions. The idea here is that originally with the paper forms, we don't know how the filing was done, but when we decided to convert it to an electronic system, we realized that it wouldn't be long before people had to look things up because somebody would forget their form and would only have minimal information to get back to where they needed to be. So to start out the process here, we'll click on register, and I'm going to register someone here. Let's say what I would like to do here is for this user, put in the email address of somebody here who can receive email on their device. If I could have an email, volunteer? Anybody? Oh, come on, it's just going to be an email. Nobody has an email address? So it's LCEMME at techsystems.com? Okay, thanks. And username would be just J. Henry. Now this will check to make sure that it's a unique email address and that it's a unique username. I won't go through the process of demonstrating that because it takes a few minutes, but the concept's fairly straightforward. The idea is that if somebody calls up and says, I can't remember my form, you can ask them, well, what was your email address or what was your username? And then you can, later we'll see, you can search the entire database based on those two factors. So let's go ahead and register J. Henry. And see if he pops up. Sometimes they do. There you go. And it doesn't have the password yet. So he's logged in, and now he can create a form. Somebody else is going to go over that because the form is kind of complex. I'm going to log back in as J. Henry. Okay, so say J. Henry forgot his password, and he can't log in. If he clicks on forgotten password, he can enter it here, and it will send him a generic password. This is for what the project is doing, I think is a probably reasonable level of security, but it could be could be made harder, but for the most part, this should be functional at this point in time. Right now what it does is it mails him a generic password, which in this case is actually password, and he'll be able to log back in with that password. So if I try to log in with the old password, I'm going to get an error here. But somebody here should get, you just get an email? And what is your new password?
It says password.
Yep, that's it. So now we're back in. Oh no, actually it requests that you change the password to something else. I'll change it to a simple password. And now if I try to log in with password, it's not going to work. But if I log in with my 2-character password, I should get right in. And there we go. The next function that I wanted to look at is the search features. And here I have several ways of searching. I think, well, let's start with the most likely one that you'll be using actually in practice. And that's probably every so often somebody's going to log in and look for unprocessed D44s that need to be converted to D8s. So this search field goes and finds all of those records that have had D44s generated without D8s converted. And there's a guy I know the best. We go to these records, and we can see the certificate number, the map with the longitude and latitude layout on it, the animal tags, and all these other fields that someone's going to explain a little later, and the opportunity to create a D8 form. And I can go back from here directly to the new search results. And also, say for example, somebody calls up with their username, J4 for example, says, I can't remember anything, and please send me my certificates. And there we go, there's J4's record. And we get it right there and manage that if we need it. So that's it for email and search functions. I hope they're useful.
For many of the fields we have here, we use JavaScript to kind of make sure that they get filled in. So if he clicks one of them and then clicks away or doesn't type into them, then it will of course tell him that he needs to fill in that form, because then you avoid the whole problem with incomplete forms, which could happen if you have paper forms. We also have a feature there with the, you see there's a checkbox that says same as owner, which enables you to copy basically the information if it's going to be the same person moving it on. So you don't have to type it in twice. You can do something else. But of course, if there are different persons involved, then you can't use that. But if you're just moving it between two of your own farms or something, then that's something you can do to kind of speed up the process.
May I interject something?
Yep, go ahead.
I just wanted to say on behalf of Sunny, who couldn't be here right now, we were, and Randy was also, on travel. as an end user from the operations side, I was very inspired by your guys' work. It was phenomenal. The amount of time that you had to work on this, I was so impressed, and the other users in the governor's office were so impressed with the work you did and the quality. You really got it. You nailed it. I mean, in terms of what needed to be displayed, how it was visualized. And so I thank you guys, from OIMT side and from myself personally as a user. I was, it's like a tear, I was like, oh my God, you guys get the open data so well. The visualizations were just spot on, really relevant, really pertinent information. So I wanted to thank you guys. You did your job really well done. I look forward to working with you guys in the future if you have another cycle before you graduate. But thank you again for all your hard work. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, for the animal tags, you have to put a range in instead of going, say, 2A108, 3A109. So it's put in the range and it'll do automatically for you. As you can tell by the stickers in there.
It also blanks out the other animal fields once you've selected one, so you can't have multiple types of animal in one form. You have to fill out a separate form for each type of animal you're transporting. And then we also have the, this is the built-in images, so you have your brand number, then you can do that. Just type in your number, click select image, and it will show it, and it will be attached to the form. Yeah. So that is the completed form. The fields are grayed out. And basically you can move on to print it if you want to keep it for your own records.
So once you submit this, previously when you submit the submit button, it would shoot the email to the user who registered before with that email address, so they can have a copy as well, and then they can print it directly from the web page as well. So again, once you submit it, that's the user end part, and this is the admin part. So Richard explained before that once you log in as an admin, you're gonna mostly go to the unprocessed form, so search for the one that you just received. So you don't have to go through each of them, and then you will know exactly which one that have not been processed before. So you're gonna get anyone. Just pull up whatever record that we just created earlier, and then you have a chance to go down and process with the D8 form. Okay. D8.
Yeah, you can also click to get the bigger map if you want to.
So pretty much how this works is right before it loads, it's sending a call to Google, and then it returns a map. And the coordinates is actually a separate call too, so we're actually sending the address to Google to get the coordinates, so it's two separate calls.
So now I'm the admin at the HDOA, so that I want to look at someone's D44 about this previous record. I need to double check the date and then make sure it's correct. Yeah, so I'm going to send it out.
You can of course change it if you want to.
Like I said, this was a jQuery right here.
Yeah.
It's fancy animation, makes it look more professional.
And then if there's any restrictions on, like, say, one animal is sick, so it can't be transported by sorry, the trucks or anything like that. And then just accept and submit. And you get a new copy of the D8 form for printing. It's also emailed to you. But in this case, like, since it's the administrators at the department are looking at it, so the email is a courtesy to the user. And if you want to print it, then you can just print the form out.
Okay, that's it.
So, you saw what's been done. It's been tense, as I said. We did our best, and we hope that will be useful for the department. For now, any question you guys have? None? Probably Scott.
Good work.
Yeah?
Thank you.
There is still a little short video just to see the actual okay, it's not working, so we'll skip that part, I guess. So here we go. That's it.